I'm hopeful that we'll have a good time today.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mute everybody, and then in the course of the session, if you have a question or if I ask a question, you can actually unmute yourself and you talk to me so that we can have a smooth flow. As much as possible, if you are using if you are using your video, you can put it up so that the bandwidth is not too high in Ghana, so that we can have we can listen with our and then go on with the session. All right. So thank you. All right. So this is what we do. This actually is a monthly seminars we run. For those who are joining us for the first time, we do this session every month. Okay. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
So, you can see my screen, eh?
We can see, please. I can see from my end.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it's a monthly session we run, and we look at different topics. Last month we
can see it now.
Yeah, last month we actually went into the potentially dangerous mobile application and web application that your children are using on the internet. It was a very insightful presentation last month. This month we are looking at the part 2 of this topic as trends, issues, and challenges of parenting at the digital age. And it's one of the exciting topics I normally want to talk about. And so as my ritual, I'll normally allow you guys to give me the reason why you joined the session. Did you join by the topic, or you want to have some knowledge about the whole cybersecurity issues? So I'll pick about 1 or 2 people, and then I will have some interactions. Why did you join the session? Any volunteer for me, please? Any volunteer for me? Just to tell me why you decided to join today's session and your expectations.
Let me come in. I don't know.
Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My name is Swale. I'm from Tamale.
All right.
Joining you from Tamale. I have decided to join this because of the topic concern. I'm a member of vice chair of my world school.
Okay. And what are your expectations? Yeah, listen, sir. Okay, I guess we lost you. Any other person to help us, just to give us an idea of why you joined and your expectations?
I think I'm thank you. I'm done, please.
Okay, thank you. Any other person for us, please?
Okay, my name is Makafui.
Okay.
I'm joining from the US. I'm a mother of 3, and I would like to know what my children know, because these days the children know more than us.
Okay.
So this, I believe, will be very insightful and will help me to understand the kids and also find a way to check and see what are they doing now there
on the internet. Okay,
I might
that's
not
fine.
maybe aware of. Yes.
All right. So
Hello.
that's yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm Kathy. I'm a mother of 3 and a teacher. I'm in Kumasi.
All right.
I joined this meeting, one, because of my children, and also to gain knowledge too, because I'm a teacher. You know, in recent times, we see students rioting and taking videos of themselves and posting online. So I want to gain knowledge where I can advise them when I need them in class about the foreseeable danger that they tend to face in the near future. That's why I joined.
Okay, that's great. That's good. So thank you so much for volunteering to talk to us. So I will go straight to the session. This is very, very, very interactive. You actually talk to us, we will talk to you, and then we'll all learn. So my name is Emmanuel once again. My principal job is I'm an IT consultant in Ghana. I do projects for vendors like Cisco, Oracle, and Microsoft. And but this cybersecurity is one of my interests. I'm passionate about young people, and I talk to young people a lot about issues about internet and safety because of my job. That was the reason why I was inspired to look at other bigger stakeholders like parents, caregivers, and the government institutions. So we've been talking for the past almost 7 years now on this subject on child and online safety and parenting. And today we want to also look at this particular topic. In the next maybe an hour, we are hopeful that we want to look at this. We'll look at trends of technology. We'll look at the issues around this technology. We'll talk about challenges of raising digital natives. And then finally, we'll have come home to talk about how parents can deal with the issues that we raise. Before I start, I want us to do some polls, okay? So on your screen, I will ask a question. The question will pop up on your screen. You answer it by tapping the answer you think is best fits you, all right? So let's start. So my first question is coming on your screen right now. So if you look at it, you just tap if yes. So the first question is, have you attended any of our seminars in the past? Like this seminar, this monthly seminar, have you attended it? So just vote for me. I'll share the. So vote for me now. We are about 16 people on the platform. 7 have voted. I need about maybe 10 or 11 people to vote, and I'll share the results. Okay, so okay, I didn't know. Okay, okay. Almost all of us here have not attended the program before. Unfortunately, we have all of you not attending my session. Oh, okay. So this is the result. And so I have 100% of you saying that you have not attended the session. Okay, let me look at the second question. Okay, so the second question is this. Can I see the question? It said, have you spoken to your child about the dangers in physically meeting their online friends who they do not know physically in your lifetime or in the last 1 or 2 years? Have you ever discussed the issue about online meetups? So a child will meet somebody on the internet and then it say, okay, can we meet offline? Have you had a discussion before? So please vote for me. I'll have about 10 different ways I want to do. I want to do quickly, then we start. All right, so please vote. And then, okay, so we have 12 people voted. Okay, I think some people are not voting. I don't know why. Okay, just tap on your screen. Just say yes, no, not sure, whatever. Just go on. Okay, so I have 14 people. That's not bad. So I'm going to share the results. 29% of us say yes. A whooping 64% of us on the platform say you have not done that before. And then 7%, so cumulatively about 73% of us have not actually discussed the issue about stranger danger with our kids. Okay, maybe that's why we have not met on the platform before. Let's look at a third survey. Third survey. Look at this. I'm sure this question there, a lot of people say. So let's go on. So the next one is, do you have a clear rules? I think. Okay, go ahead. Okay. 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 Good. Okay. Oh, please vote. Yeah, I have some vote. You just tap on the screen now. It will be fine. Like that's all. Just click or tap if you are using a mobile device. Just tap on it. Let's do it. Okay, so I have 11 people, 12 people have voted, and I'm ending the session. I've ended it. Okay, so out of the 12 people that voted, 58% have not done that, and that's a lot. More than half of us, we have not done that in our families, and that's why I think this session is very important. Now let me look at the last. Okay, I will look at the fourth one. Then maybe I'll come back to. I'll go on and come back and continue with my post. I'll talk about this called the smart e-safety rules. If you have heard about it, just say yes. If you have not heard about it, say no, so that I won't waste my time with it. If you have not heard about it, say no. If you have heard about it, say yes. So please vote so that I don't waste my time on it. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. So I'm stopping the polls. We have 14 who have voted. I'm stopping it, and we have almost 80% of us who have not heard about it. So I'll talk about it. All right, so let me start, and then I'll come back. I've actually done 4. I'll come back to the other 6 as we go along. So let me start. So the trends. Let's watch the video. So this is a video by a company called Cisco, and that's the technology they've invented. Great. So this is actually a technology that is invented as part of their contribution, what we call the Internet of Things. And this is not a fiction. So the girls can go to a shop. They don't need to wear the dress on their body. The dress can be picked and put on their image in the screen. I'll talk about it in a. So we have one very few ones I want to mention. That we have what we call the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, and all of that. These are the underlying technology that's moving the world today. Okay, we are actually building smart cities. We are building smart hospitals. We are building complex medical architecture. And these are all part of the invention of this particular tools. Now, for example, on the area of the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, we have what we call home automation. Home automation is allowing many people to now control their lives from anywhere in the world. So, for example, if you look at a smart device we have in our homes, if I'm traveling to any part of Ghana and I forget to put my microwave or gas cylinder or whatever off, on my way, I can just go on my device and put it off remotely, and then I can still drive it. I don't need to come back to Accra and do that. You remember this television? We used to watch this television in the 80s. I'm not very old. So in the 80s, I remember we used to watch this black and white TV. Those who are older than that age, maybe they were not even getting the TV at all. But 80s, we were watching this TV. And I remember that's how we used to watch it in our grandfather's living room. It was so primitive. And it was a modern technology. It was a very powerful technology most people couldn't have. I remember those days, you needed to bath and then run errands for the elders before you can qualify to watch the TV. And we had only one television station at that time. The world has moved on. We have actually moved on from that time to what we call the color TV, the video deck, we call VHC. We have the DVD, we have the VCRs. We have gone past a lot of things. Today, we have been able to marry our digital world to our physical world to the point that we can actually pick content from our phones and drop them on the wall. People can watch movies like without projectors. So we have a very complex architecture in the area of our digital viewership and television and stuff like that. Another thing that is also happening is that we are actually moving into a future we won't have the deaf, we won't have the blind, we won't have the dumb. And how is it going to happen? Most inventions that the world is facing today is allowing us to create technology that will augment and empower the disabled. Globally, we have close to 500 million people who are deaf and dumb. Now, what has happened in the past? If you look on my screen, you see that there's this gentleman here who is wearing a digital vest. And this man wearing this digital vest here is a deaf person, he can't hear anything. But this invention allows anybody to talk to him, and the sound of your voice will hit the screen, the vest. It will vibrate the skin, and the meaning will jump back to the guy's brain. And that is what has happened. Now, this about the eyesight, we have been able to actually implant a lot of digital architecture on the iris of people's eyes, and they can actually see colors and features and recognize faces and all of that. So blind people are able to see and all of that. So another thing is that we have been able to also, the verse I talk about, and the other part that is also exciting, that there are watches that allow deaf people to even hear the horn of a car and the barking of a dog. And moving forward, I want to also talk about this interesting thing. This is a simple vest, gloves, actually made by two young people. They were teenagers in MIT. What they did was that they actually built these gloves to be able to translate sign language to audible English language, so that if a deaf person wears it, he's able to navigate, talk with the vest, the gloves, and then the meaning will jump back to anybody who is not even hearing the sign language. So that's how the technology works. So what has happened is that this young man can actually talk to you without his tongue, but the sign language can be translated to audible English language. And that's the trend of technology we are seeing today. On our e-commerce platform, your fridge will talk to someone, okay, I need milk, I need sugar. You don't need to pick a phone and call them. Your fridge will do that for you, because your fridge will be on the larger network of the IoT. So the next trend, which is the reason why I'm even talking today, is about what we call the global Wi-Fi. The global Wi-Fi is the desire by the world to give everybody, whether poor or rich, access to the internet. And what we are seeing today is just an iceberg, because even in Ghana, with all our noise, less than 50% of Ghanaian population are online. And look at what's happening today. The global Wi-Fi is initiated by the leading IT companies in the world to make sure that every human being living on Earth is online. One of the biggest topics of our internet penetration is people don't have money to buy data, and they don't have money to buy devices. Now, what are they doing? A company called Google actually have a project called Google Project Loon. And Project Loon is what Google is doing for the next 10 years. They intend to actually target the North America and Africa. And the idea is that they want to give access to the internet to anybody, whether you are poor or rich, in Africa, basically. And how does it work? This balloon is a hot air balloon that has digital stickiness around. It's going to be an access point that will give internet to anybody. So you can connect to a Wi-Fi. So you will need Vodafone to give us data and buy and band. You don't have to do those things again. This is how it will work. So your device will be here. And then as you are holding your device, this balloons will fly above your head like this, and it can connect to the Wi-Fi. It's free Wi-Fi for the whole world. And that is where we are getting to. This architecture works in this manner, being the access point to anybody, anywhere in the world, and you can access the internet. That's one of the things Google is doing. A gentleman called Elon Musk is also the CEO of SpaceX. If you know about them, they actually build satellite, and they have a lot of driverless. They have a lot of projects. This guy is a very powerful guy. He's a US citizen, he's a South African citizen, and he's a billionaire. Last 2 years, he actually wrote to the American government that he wanted to be given a permission to actually install 4,425 satellites in the outer space. Why is he trying to do this? His vision is to give either free or cheaper internet to the world. And once these things are happening, it means that he was going to hang more satellite in the outer space than the world has ever done since the world started. This one man is going to do that investment. And what is his vision? His vision is to give everybody internet. And the question is, why are they doing this? I'll come to it. Facebook has what we call facebook.internet.org, and they're also trying to give people free internet to access Facebook on many platforms. The issue is that the biggest tech companies in the world make a lot of money by your presence online. Once you're on the internet, it gives them money, and that's why they want you to be there. They don't want you to pay money to be there, just be there with your presence. And that's the trend we're actually going through in our world. These scenarios actually create a very exciting, interesting world for us that makes internet a big deal for all of us. A big deal for so many reasons. A big deal because young people now can be on the platform, and those young people include my children and yours. Now, the internet affords them so many opportunities for them to communicate, for them to collaborate, for them to entertain, for them to build multimedia architecture. These are the things that young people can go on social media and be doing. We know they are learning, and through learning, they are collaborating, and they are doing a whole lot of things. Now, young people are on the social media doing impressive things. Number one thing they are doing there, sorry, forgive me. Okay, we are there, right? Now, the first thing I want to talk about, the young people are part of social media and they are active citizens. Social networking services can provide an accessible and powerful toolkit for highlighting and acting on issues that young people may encounter. Now, this is a very powerful initiative that the social media ministry are actually doing for young people. Now, number two thing the social media is actually doing is that they are having young people to actually develop a voice and build their trust. The issue is this: young people want to talk, but society doesn't give them the leeway to talk, and then the social media actually giving them the chance to do that. They are collaborating and building teams. They are able to explore and learn. Actually, they are becoming independent and building resilient by the use of social media architecture. But all these are benefits. I remember when we were young, we didn't have opportunity even to learn on our own, like learn engineering. But today, young people can learn engineering by using X. They can use Khan Academy. They can use a number of resources that are available to them. Anybody can become an engineer easier and cheaper today than our time. Now, what are the issues? The issue number one is that young people are doing so many things that are hurting them, hurting their lives, and hurting their family and their future. And I'm going to raise an issue from a document I was privileged to be part of those who review it as a stakeholder. This document was put together by UNICEF in the year 2017. This is a very old document, but I'm not really getting a new document that relates to Ghana. And so when I'm talking to people about China, and I say I'm quoting things from US, and they say it's not related to Ghana. So I'm just trying to get something that's close to all of us. So Ghana, in 2017 December, after we've gone through the review with UNICEF, Ghana government and UNICEF actually brought this document together. The rest of the did in Ghana. And I want to give a snapshot of what the issues are. Now, the people that were sampled to respond to the survey were asked in the past, how often have you done these things online? So look at that one. Point one says that, have you ever sent photo or video of yourself to someone you have never met face to face? Look at it. We're lucky. As a country, 55% of our young people said they have not done that before. What this means is that 45% of us, of our children, were sending videos and pictures of themselves to people they met on the internet who they don't know physically. And I will tell the reason why this is one of the dangerous things that can happen to any child. I will give you the reason why. Number two, have you ever pretended to be a different kind of person? What is that? Have you ever done what we call identity hijacking? Have you mistaken someone's identity as yourself? And we're lucky on that score too. We have about 60 7% of them saying that they have not done that before. Now, the rest, which I wanted something percent, they say they've done that before. Now, somebody said, meet me face to face. Okay? And then people did that. Somebody said, send me your full name, send me this, and they sent them to them. And then people go on the internet and then they look for friends online. These are the things they've done. These are the key. Let's go to the next one. So these are the issues. The issue number 2 is this. That was also one of the frightening things from 2017 that has made me very passionate about this topic, is that they asked them, who did you talk to about your problem? They are young. If you look, maybe I will share the full report later on the platform if you join us. Now, the full report, if you look at the full report, before we came to this table, they were asking the children that when you are encountering, and most of them were telling us that they were times they were bullied, somebody was stalking them, there were a lot of issues that they were raising. And then the questionnaire somebody was able to raise a question that, who did you talk to about the problem? And who being 54% of them said that they talked to their friends around the same age. Only 22, I say only 22 because if you take 22 out of the 100%, more than 78% of them spoke to anybody apart from their parents. They said 22% spoke to their parents. And then somebody said, I spoke to my brother and my sister. Somebody said, I spoke to anyone I met, anybody was available, someone else. And I said, somebody I trust, and they can trust a cyber criminal. 4% said they spoke to their teachers. And I was thinking that if we have actually done our work as parents and caregivers, this 54% should be teachers and parents. Unfortunately, we're in minority. And somebody said, I never spoke to anybody. I didn't speak to anybody. That's about 30% said they never talked to anybody about it. So we have issues, and it means that potentially, and from the survey I did with you, I realized that most of you are not even talking about the issue. What if your children maybe encountered the issue? They're not even discussing with you in the first place. I've actually had a lot of seminars with young people, university students, and SHS students. Every year, I go to many schools to talk to them. And the thing they will discuss with me, I bet you they won't talk to their parents about. Because the reason is that the parents are not even positioned even to understand the issues that are happening around them. And that's why I think that this is very important for us. So in summary for that report, I won't take you through. 7 out of 10 children that were interviewed were using the internet for learning. And that is 2017. We didn't have COVID at the time. Schools were not telling anybody to have their children use Zoom and all of that. And 7 out of 10 were using the internet to learn. We are aggressively young people on internet than adults. 4 in 10 of them have seen sexual images at least once. So 40% of our children in Ghana have at least seen sexual images in their quest either to learn or entertain themselves or be on social media, whatever reason, they've stumbled upon sexual images on the platform. Now, the second thing is that 2 in 10 children, and this is very tricky, met someone face to face whom they first got to know on the internet. 2. What is it meant for? Every 100% of young Ghanaians, 20% of them decided they met somebody on the internet who became their friends on the Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and then later decided they will meet a person. And I'll come to the reason why some of these bullet points are very dangerous. If your parents are not looking at it, you are just joking in this age. Because if I'm a kidnapper and I want to take your child from home, that's what I will do. I will groom them and take them from your house. You won't even know about them. And these people are not even talking to their parents about the experience they are having with other people who are meeting on the internet. Now that's why 4 out of the 10 people interviewed in 2017 said that they did not feel comfortable. And when they say they don't feel comfortable, it means so many things. I'll come to that in a minute. Now, 3 in 10 children, adolescents have experienced something that bothered them and upset them whilst they are on the internet. So it means that much of the technology architecture is providing a lot of exciting stuff for our children. It also has a lot of negative stuff. Now, the implications of all the things these kids are doing is that potentially they give themselves up to cyber bullies, they give themselves up to predators, They give themselves up to phishing attack. They give themselves up for what we call the romance scams and other things. But let's go. I will look at about 3 of them because I don't want to bore you today. So I will look at about 3 of them. Now, the first one I want to talk about is what we call romance scam. And anybody who has a child on the internet should be interested in the things they do there. Now, this romance scam is one of the multi-billion industry in the world today because out of this, the people are able to make millions of dollars from this. And I'll tell you the reason. So you go on the internet, and it's not only kids, but I've met adults that do this. Like you go on the internet, they meet somebody, sometimes they go on dating site. Some of them don't, they can go on Instagram or TikTok, and then they just go to somebody's DM and just chat the person. And then they become lovers or whatever. They don't know each other. Now, if you look at this picture carefully, you realize that the person who is actually chatting with this young man is not this girl. If even you open your video, like we are doing Zoom with you, or we are doing any of the Facebook video or WhatsApp video, the person can open a video. You can see a human being like a girl or a man you are talking to, but that may not be him. We have various tools on the internet that can actually model another identity for you to see. So this guy thinks that he's seeing a girl, but the actual person behind the mask is this man. And when this man talks, the software translates it to a voice of a woman. And then this man can hear a woman talking to him. And how can he make money from this? So with this, they are able to now groom these people, and this can be a man, an older person or a younger person, to give out some information, and cyber criminals want information. I'm in cybersecurity. When you want to hack anybody, or when you want to attack anybody, what makes it easier for you to the attack to work is information. That is why in my cybersecurity class, when we are teaching people, we call them ethical hackers and countermeasures people, or those who are doing pen testing. What we teach them is that before you do the hack, you have to get information. That we call reconnaissance. It's a full module we teach on how you can get data from people. Now, this is what happened. When we fall in love with this guy, they actually allow you to play naughty with them, and that's the part of the grooming. So they will tell you that the girl will actually put her naked picture, like can go naked on the screen like this, and then that will also compel you to also go naked. And most young people are doing that. We call it sexting. Okay. And as you do that, they are recording your version of what you are doing. So you bring your genitals out, you behave, you do this online sexting, and they record you. And then they will come back to bite you by blackmailing you. And this story is a lot in Ghana. I was part of a group that was actually talking about this issue in Kumasi last 2 years. That somebody was actually, and now it's common. It's common even in Ghana. Now, once they get those videos of yours, because you think you're in love with somebody, you're seeing the person, the lady is beautiful, whatever. You give everything to the person now use it to now blackmail you. Say, okay, give me money, otherwise I'll publish on the internet. And most young people are now victims of, they can't even talk to their parents because their parents are so straight that they can't even talk to them. So that's what you need to do. A minute. So if you watch the video carefully, you realize that this gentleman is not the one on the screen. You see the guy is using a younger person to get the guy's attention. He is the one actually navigating the entire process and is actually scamming the girl. Look at what's happening. Okay, so let me pause here to tell you something. You know, these guys may not be asking for money from the girl as part of the bargain for the blackmail. They are people who are actually managing porn hubs, okay, in other places. So what they do is that they can actually get young people to, and they have child pornography site, which is illegal. So they actually source for people like this, and when they get them, before they get to this stage, they've actually groomed them to be scared of their parents. And I will show you how the process is done, how the process of grooming is done in the course of this discussion. And as you see, the guy will be actually having close to about 300 young girls that he's doing the same thing to, and putting, everybody has a folder on his machine. He will put your folder and your name will be on it. He will be having you. So they have folders that they put every girl that they actually doing that to. And that is the danger our children may be going through if we are not careful. The next thing I want to talk about is sexual predators, and it's similar to what we have talked about. They also look for young people, and sometimes they actually do it for sexual reasons. And let's watch these videos too.
Oh God.
So this young guy actually is playing a multi-user game on his desktop, and then somebody comes up. You know, when you are actually, if you have both games for your child, like your child is using an Xbox or any other platform, in Nintendo or something, you realize that they can actually go online and have anybody from anywhere connecting with them to play. Like some of us, we have those games on our screen, like from Facebook, Farmville, and other games that you can actually get anybody online from India, anywhere to play with, and it's the same game on his screen in the house. Sorry. So he played the game with somebody. He's called Jack, that he met on the internet. He has not met before. So Jack was sending pictures of himself to him. So the young man invited him to meet him in person in his house so they can play. And he doesn't know the guy. The guy agreed to go. And that's what most of our children, according to UNDP, UNICEF report, what this guy is doing is being done by 20% of young people in Ghana as of 2017. Now we are in COVID. More people are using the internet than those times. I don't know how many percent of them are doing. I don't know whether 50% are doing it or 60% are doing it now. But in 2017, 20% of young people who are using the internet will do this what this guy is doing. He left home and was going to meet a stranger. Look at what happened. And he met this guy. So this guy agreed to enter, and then he went to sit down with this man to wait for his supposed friend he met on the internet. So your children are trusting. They trust strangers easily. So apparently this guy is a pedophile. And that's the voice he used to speak with him. And for us, we are interested in some of this story. So I think I have a story about this same in Ghana here, where Manasseh Azuri did the story about a doctor in Takrady called Dr. Gaba. He used to do the same thing, this same story. He also used the game console, he used the social media to harvest young boys and abuse them. He was a pedophile in Takrady. He's now in his home. I don't know how many people are doing it, they are not getting caught, but people are doing this aggressively to young people in Ghana. And I want you to pay attention to what your children are doing on the internet so that these things will not happen to them. So sometimes you have somebody will be on the internet like a woman, but behind the mask is a man. He can look like a younger person of the age of your child, but he may be an older person who is a pedophile and all of that. Now, another biggest issue is about grooming, okay? And grooming is very critical thing that I have seen happening. Like, for example, there are radicals who may actually use, like, in the name of religion, okay, to do so many crazy things, like ISIS, Boko Haram and stuff. And that's how they harvest and get young people. Groomers, these people can groom a child to become anything. So once you're actually raising your child to become a moral person, another person may be on the internet grooming the child to become another person like a parent or something. How are they going to be? So they start basically by friendship. And I tell parents that if you are not monitoring what your child is doing on social media, you are missing out a lot. And it's a lot of work, but you have to do it. Find a way, but I will show you how you can do it in a way. Now, these guys can come and befriend your children on social media. And normally when they start with non-harmful topics, okay, like they talk about religion. And they can actually talk about the thing that will interest your child from a premise. And the premise is this. When your child went to social media, they fill the form, the profile, they fill it as if they are going for passport. They put that information there. The cybercrime, before you even attempt to connect your child, will study all the things your child has said about himself. I like this music, I go to this church, my father is this, they put all those things there. When they study, they will be able to know the psyche of the child, so they will know where to start the grooming from. And some of them are psychologists, some of them are doctors, and these are not people that are useless people walking around. Some are intellectual are going to school, like a medical doctor from Takrady doing that. You can imagine they are not daft people. And that's why I tell parents that the warfare your children are facing on the internet cannot be fought by them alone. So don't actually fight against them. They need your participation, they need your collaboration to fight that battle. Because the issue is that you can't actually take them from that world. They have to navigate on that platform safely. And your input or your support is critically needed. You know what they do? So they're there into chat rooms where they can be isolated, mostly. The child will be often asked for non-sexual pictures for themselves, of themselves. And then they say, okay, let me see your picture. You are beautiful. That's how we start. And then as they go on, they start forming a relationship. And then they start asking for a risk thing. Now, when they are actually discussing all this thing, they are actually measuring what we call risk assessment. Assessing the child's machine, whether the machine is very secured. If the machine is not secured, they can actually install a malware by just sending a link to the child, a picture to the child. The child will click on it. And if they are savvy technological people, they can allow the child to click a link. They will install a malware on the PC. That malware can even turn on the camera of the computer without your knowledge, and can be recording the child's experiences. The one that the child doesn't even want to send to them, they can record it. And that's what happened. For example, there was a young guy who was caught in this grooming thing. He used to watch pornography a lot on his machine. So he would normally stand in front of his laptop and bring his genital out and maybe massaging his genital whilst he's watching the pornography. The criminal turned on the young man's laptop camera and then the microphone and was recording the guy anytime he does that. And this guy was about 22 years. And then later they started pushing this thing to him that this is what we have been recorded. We are going to put it on social media if you don't pay us money. And that's very dangerous. They actually took a lot of money till this guy gave up and committed suicide. Because he couldn't pay again, he couldn't tell anybody. He was scared that when this thing comes, how was I going to see me? And they are sensitive people and they may be in trouble, so they want to. So that concept I discussed what we call sextortion. So sextortion is when somebody uses your sexuality to now blackmail you to extort anything from you, whether a favor or for sexual favors. So as a parent, we are challenged. The challenge number one we are actually facing is this one. I hear parents tell me that, as for me, my kids, they know more than me about the internet. So what do I do? That's one of the biggest challenges of parents. And I have told parents several times that anytime you come to a place where your child becomes the god of technology in your home, you have lost him. I'm saying it again. Anytime your child becomes the god of technology in your home, you have lost him. What I mean about the god of technology? Some parents I have actually interacted with are too scared of their children when it comes to technology. They can't even mention it because they think that they are too naive that their children will even embarrass them when they talk about it. And that is one of the biggest issues I've seen many parents encounter. But the issue is this, very simple. You don't need to be tech savvy to manage your home. The internet is just a tool. Every activity that happens on the platform is the same as what happened on the offline platform. So there are things you can do to give you a greater command and control of what happens in your home. I'm not saying go and police your children, but there's a way you can handle what they do that you don't become so handicapped. There are managers who are managing IT companies, or they are managing IT department of bigger banks. They don't have IT background, but they have management skills. And they can manage the whole department so perfectly without any technical skills. How are they able to do it? The same way. You may not be so savvy, but you can actually be able to manage them if you are very interested. That's number one. Number two is this. Okay, so let's do this experiment. What logo is this? If you can tell me, what logo is this? If you know it, anybody? If you see this on our chat, what does it mean?
Facebook.
Okay. What about this one? What about this one?
Twitter.
Okay, what about this one? Instagram. Okay. How about this one?
Snapchat.
Great. How about this one?
Snapchat, Instagram.
How about this one?
No idea.
Okay, it's called Tumblr. How about this one?
What?
It's called Tumblr. Okay, so last month I did a seminar. I took all the unfamiliar applications that parents don't know, and I talked about them, talk about what happened there, what your children did, and the rest. Maybe another time I will do another session around part 2 of this. Okay, so now this is called what? Who knows this?
No idea.
It's called Vine. What about this one? Okay, I've done this one. What about this one?
Picture.
This one is what? This one is what?
No idea.
Okay.
No picture.
You can see it.
We can see.
Someone said TikTok, right? For this one.
Picture.
Yeah, this is TikTok.
And what about this one?
Hey.
No idea.
Okay, it's called ax.fm. This one is called what? This one is called Kick. Okay. So what is happening is that sometimes I've actually read that more than 60%.
You didn't hear the name well.
Kick, K-I-K, Kick.
Okay.
Okay. Most of the time, I read that parents don't even have an idea about 60% or more of the applications that children are using. You are very familiar with Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram.
Cake.
But the most exciting platform that your children are actually navigating are not those ones. People have left those your Facebook and Instagram long time ago. We'll come to that. Now, the another challenge is that technology actually changes so rapidly that sometimes you can't even catch up. You have a lot of work to do. You have to feed your children. We understand that's what's happening. And so you are not able to catch up with them. They have all the time. Like, technology actually moving exponentially like this whilst we are actually going down slowly. So whilst technology is actually changing so fast here, we are actually moving like a tortoise here as parents. The world is moving so fast that we can't even catch up. And that's a challenge of parents in our days. Another thing is that too much information and sometimes you don't have even any information at all. It's a challenge parents are facing, and we actually bear with it. But I think the issue is that we can't give up. We can't give up because you can send your child to most expensive school, you have money. You can send your child, you can buy your child the best of things in life, food and everything. Their physical security is your responsibility. But bear in mind that in the digital age, their digital security too is your responsibility. So you have a house, you have a gate man, if you lock your gate at 8 o'clock, nobody comes, nobody goes, it's good. But when they have the digital device in their hand, the whole world is in your room. And that's why you have to also be careful. Now, talk to your child. What are you going to talk to them about? And that's what I want to stress on. What are you going to talk to them about? We are going to talk to our children about being smart online. And that we call the smart e-safety rules. E-safety. So watch this one. That's how we are going to. I'm going to discuss this one briefly with the S, the A, the M, the A, R, and T. Okay. So number one is the letter S. And so in your discussion with your children, what are you telling them? From what you have heard, from the videos you have seen, you tell your children that please be safe. And how are you going to be safe? Don't share. Don't share sensitive information about yourself. We call them PII, personally identifiable information. Don't share information about your school, about your phone number, about your email address. That each thing that when a cyber criminal get to have, they can get closer to you, that can harm you. Don't do that. Number two is M, meetups. Never. And from the videos we have seen that it's so dangerous for anybody to meet. And some of the guys, some of these people, young people, meet up with strangers and they get missing. They get missing. They are not seen again. And it's a very serious issue. So let's have a practical discussion that the same discussion you'll be having with children. Charlie, when you are going to school and a stranger call, you don't call. Like, you do those things. On the cyberspace, we don't do that much. No stranger should meet your child offline under any circumstance. And that discussion has to be done consistently, religiously. That's the way we do our morning devotion if you are Christians. Number three thing is that be careful the email. Come again. Okay. Be careful with the email that they accept. People can phish them. Phishing attack means people can send them any picture or anything that they can tap on. Like, let me share this. There is something in security we call it RAT. Okay, that's remote access Trojan. Okay. Now, this is a malware that when we install on your PC, it gives us a remote access. And that's the same malware people can use to turn on your camera when you are having a nice time with your family. Somebody is recording whatever is happening. And your PC will be sitting there recording you, or your laptop is sitting there recording, because somebody has installed a malware that has turned on your camera. You don't even know. But the only way that can happen is that they can actually force you to click on something. And so if you look at the WhatsApp platform, we see a lot of people saying, okay, KFC is sharing food. I don't know whether you see those things. Click on this thing. KLM is giving tickets. Click on this thing. Vodafone is giving free data. Click on this link. And the link that is there, if you look at it, even the link is malicious. And people are clicking on it because they want free things. And cyber criminals are using this to do what we call credential harvesting. Credential harvesting, they want to have your email address, they want to have your phone number, they want to have other things, and somebody can access your phone and copy the things from your phone and log that. So these are the things that we have to tell our children about. We have to also get them to understand that there should be somebody they rely on anytime they have issue. They are teachers, they are pastors or they are imams, they are respected religious leaders. Anybody, before a child goes online, it's like you are going into a war zone. You should get a backup of someone that can support and help you. They have issues on the internet. And most children don't have. That's why when they have issues, they can't even come out to talk to their parents. Their parent should be the people that will be the reliable agent that these children should come into. That discussion has to be done. The friendliness that you have with a child, and whenever there are issues, they will come back and discuss with you. Should be there. Whenever they have issues, they should come and tell you that these are the things. If your children are not telling you, from the UNICEF report, 80% of young people in Ghana are not telling their parents. 80%, that's a lot. If you pick 10 children in Ghana who are using the internet, every 10 of them, 8 of them don't tell their parents when they have issues on the internet. the reason is that the cyber criminal will first of all put the fear of your parent into you before even they start grooming you. So when the issue happens, if you tell your parent, you know what the parent will do, they will kill you. And no child wants to be killed. So when they have issues, please discuss with them. So that's about it. Talk to them early, okay? Talk to them early. So at this point, I will pause, allow you to ask questions, and then we go to the second leg of our intervention for the next 20 minutes of the cruise. Please ask questions if you have them, please. We are waiting for the questions, please.
Hello.
Yeah, any question, please?
All right.
I want to know, at what age should a child be given a smart device?
Okay.
Yes, my name is Delphine.
Okay, so at what age should a child be given a smart device? Okay, I'll respond to that. Okay, somebody is also asking a question. Come, I'm listening. Please, I'm listening to you. Somebody's asking a question again. So the person who asked about the age, please, what's the name?
I'm Kathy.
Okay, Kathy, okay. And then who again is asking another question? Yeah, I'm listening. Please ask your question.